Back with another video again. Here we go. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. If you ain't got it a certain day, if you just not feeling it, if it ain't there, like you came onto the field and you went out to work, but you just like it just wasn't in you. Like you gave your best that you had, but you know you can give more, if that makes sense. Like you could have given more. Like that, you have an ability to give more than that. That was not your best performance. For that day, it may have been just the best you could deliver, but you know all time that's not your true performance. You know what I mean? And in that situation, I just want to like give this word to you guys. Whenever you encounter, maybe this might just be a single day. This might be for a couple weeks or months, where you start to enter a slump with your performance, with whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whenever you feel like you're going back more than you're going forward, you're making less progress, you're maybe even as far as plateauing, right? You're just not getting anywhere, or you're slumping, you're doing so much and nothing's coming out of it, right? Or not even that, like you've done a lot, but now you're at the point where it's just not in you to keep going, really, right? Here's some advice to you, right? If you're giving yourself hardcore, you're going to make results. And some days, it's not going to be there. Some days, that drive is just going to be, it feels like it just went out the door. It walked out of your life, right? Some days, you don't have the home run hits. Some days, you don't have the badass YouTube attitude. Sometimes I don't come on to my live streams energetic as fuck, ready to light it up. Some days, it's just not there, right? It's not often, but it happens, right? Some days, you go out to do whatever it is you got to do, and it's just not happening. It's just not there with you today. Look, here's what I want to tell you guys. Don't beat yourself up over it. Okay? And I know sometimes it's hard for people that are so used to having that energy day in and day out to do it no matter what, right? You grind, you feel good about it. On the days that it's just not there, you got to let it be that way. Right? Yeah. Sorry about that. Some days, if you don't have that attitude in you, and it's just not coming up, you might feel very low charge, probably even lethargic. You feel undriven, unmotivated, uninspired, whatever it is, right? Whenever you feel that, if it's just not within you that day, like, and I'm really mean like you just need something to pick you up. No, I mean like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to pick up. You just gotta let it be that way. Whether that's for 24 hours or whether that's for a full week, 2 months, whatever it is, you gotta let it be that way. And don't beat yourself up over it. Why? Because I'm gonna tell you, one day does not beat the weeks you've put in before that. And it doesn't beat the weeks you're going to put in after that. Look, don't judge yourself for not having it some days. It happens to the best of us. Don't judge yourself for not making as much progress. Don't judge yourself for setbacks that happen in your life. Don't judge yourself for the dips in the road. Okay? This is why consistency is so important, because if you've been putting in the work prior to this point and you've been grinding and grinding and grinding and you've really been laying it out, look, the setback is only going to be so little. I mean, you got to think about this, dog. Like, your setback that you may have, the day that you might not have it, the week that you might not have it. I mean, think about it. It's one day. It's 1 week. It's a couple months out of your whole life that you're still going to be doing it. So, my advice to you is if you don't got it, you don't got it. Do what you can, and then don't beat yourself up over it. And so, you might start to get secondary emotions like anger, frustration, disappointment with yourself. Don't resist it, because, and I'm going to talk about that in the next video, resistance to emotions and secondary emotion surfacing, blah, 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 right? So, if, like I say, don't judge yourself. It's a short time period out of your whole fucking life, dude. If it ain't there, it ain't there. Get what you can, and then just leave it. Because it's going to be back. That drive's going to be back. You know, your day is going to be back, and then you're going to be able to hit the consistency grind. But my point is, if you've been putting in the work, the setback ain't going to mean too much. Setbacks are temporary, and they're usually a good thing. You know, sometimes, obviously, people like you and me, we want to feel high energy. Well, maybe you don't, but I'm assuming, you know, if you're following my channel, you're probably someone who's like in positions to strive for success. So, you know, we want to feel good day in and day out, right? And whenever we're in a position where we just can't seem to get it out of us, or we just don't seem to have our genius that day, we don't seem to be performing at our best, right? And it's just not there. You can't judge yourself for that. I'm repeating myself, but I was going somewhere. Fuck. Look, that day that you don't have it, I know you don't like feeling that way sometimes, and I know it can get frustrating to feel that way, but it's a good thing. Whenever setbacks happen like that, whenever dips in the road happen like that, that's how you know evolution's coming. That's how you know change is coming. Right? You have to allow the metamorphical I don't even know if that's a word. You have to allow the metamorphosis to occur within you. You have to allow that process to happen. Seasonally, your body changes. Your body responds differently. Sometimes it crashes. Sometimes, and you have to pay attention. You might not know specifically what it is that threw you out. That threw that drive out the door, that threw that inspiration out the door, but just let it be that way. Because when those dips in the road happen, that's how you know you're getting close to something great. It means you're doing something right. And I know it sounds weird, but I'm serious. Like, usually when those L's start happening, usually when you don't start to have it, when you're back, you're better. You know? So, allow it. Allow it. It is, just don't judge yourself for it. Recognize that it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And you'll be back at some point. It's temporary. It's a short time period out of the years ahead of you that you're going to total up and grind on. All right? I know Gary Vee was talking to this one dude. You know, dude was like, you know, I've just been really emotional. And I know it's not exactly the same thing, but, you know, he was basically saying, this dude was like, you know, I've been really emotional the past 2 weeks. I've just been unmotivated to really do anything. I don't want to do anything. And Gary's like, dude, you just need a couple weeks. Like, don't judge yourself for not being productive in a time where you're emotional, or in this case, you just don't have it. Don't judge yourself for not being productive around that time. It's 2 weeks out of your whole life. So, it's 3 weeks. It's a certain amount of time it's a certain amount of time you're having to take out. And I'm not saying completely just fuck off and do nothing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you can't hit 3-4 YouTube videos in a day, and it's just not going there with you, and you're only able to squeeze out just that one, just get that one. You know, if you're getting hits on the baseball field, I don't really fuck baseball. I'm not even going to refer to it. Right? If you're in wrestling and you're just not like normally every day you're able to get takedowns like nothing. But now, like, you're just not able to get a fucking single leg going, right? Football, you're just not able to, you're butterfingers today. You're just not going as fast as you could. You're not feeling as great as you should. Businessman, you're just unmotivated to get on and do it. Get what you can and recognize that this time period is only for a little bit. You'll be back and you'll be better. But allow this to occur through you. Don't try and resist it. Don't try and fight it. And don't get disappointed and judge yourself for it. Okay? Everyone has their own pace. And everyone's in different positions in different spots in their lives. If you happen to be in this little rut here, don't judge yourself for it. It's a couple weeks. It might be a day. It might be whatever time period it is. Don't judge yourself for it not being there for that time period. because it's that time period versus your whole life to do this, okay? So hopefully I helped put things in perspective for you. I know I repeated myself a lot, but I was just really trying to get the point across. Hopefully this motivated you to recognize that, well, hopefully this put it in perspective for you to recognize that it's okay not to have it some days. You got a whole life ahead of you, all right? Bless up. Talk to you next time.